we're going to move on to our OL Reign here. The OL Reign had a busy week as well. On the 7th of the month, they would announce a partnership, a Reign+Olympique Lyon+Club America partnership altogether. This unique agreement between three major actors in women's soccer around the world will strengthen the existing links between the clubs and develop new collaborations in various fields. They quote from the press release. So effectively, what this seems to be for these three clubs is a partnership to help grow the game of women's soccer, to help grow, that whether that be on a professional level, as the clubs themselves are, for their respective academies. I know that I believe it's Angel City FC and Tigres have a partnership, and there are several others in the works as well. The first axis that will be developed around aspects related to women's professional teams, with the sharing of knowledge and skills between the various staffs of the three clubs, exchanges of information on recruitment, scouting networks, and the organization of friendly games. The inaugural friendly match, symbolizing this new partnership, is scheduled for Saturday, February 25th at Starfire Stadium between the Reign and Club America. So we have it up next to look at a sort of preseason matchup for the Reign to look forward to. We'll see you there, at Starfire for that on the 25th. When asked if there was the possibility, of there being a friendly between the Reign and Lyon, there wasn't a clear answer on that from the different representatives in the press conference for this announcement. So I imagine there will be, but there wasn't a clear definition that we can give you at this time. So that friendly that we mentioned will provide fans with the opportunity to visit the Reign's new training site for the first time. If you didn't know, if you don't follow our socials, the Reign have been training down in Starfire. They have some offices there as well. So great to see a sort of established training facility for the Reign. Those tickets have already gone on sale. There will be merchandise there available to purchase at the event, including a limited edition scarf to commemorate the partnership between all three clubs. A second level of collaboration will be set up between the academies, embodied by exchanges on the organization of the structures, the strategies, and the techniques of the training between the educational teams, the immersion courses, as well as invitations on the youth tournaments. Finally, on the non-sporting side, there will be synergies that will be activated around joint communication, campaign on the values of sport, exemplarity, and transmission to young people, sporting excellence, and certain CSR themes. The sales and marketing teams will also share their networks and international partnership opportunities. So again, this largely just seems to be a great opportunity to continue to grow the game of women's soccer, have these friendly matches against each other, try to continue growth in the academies as well. So there was that announcement. On the 8th, we found out that midfielder Jess Fishlock was called up to the Wales women's national team for the upcoming Pinatar Cup. The Pinatar Cup is an invitational women's association football tournament held in March in San Pedro del Pinatar, a region of Murcia, Spain. In the first edition that was held back in 2020, it was contested by Iceland, North Ireland, goodness, I apologize to my Ireland roots for that botch, Scotland, and Ukraine. The tournament is organized by the company called IAST Sports, which is originally from Slovakia. So best wishes to Jess in that tournament. And then finally, the NWSL schedule was announced the same day on February 8th. We finally found out all of that sort of information after waiting. I know our friend Jen Williams was unable to plan one of a few trips to see the Reign play because of this taking place, because of the delayed schedule, but we finally have it after this long wait. So let's get into it. So here's the first, we'll go through it here. The NWSL schedule has 28 matches total between the regular season and Challenge Cup, 14 at home and 14 on the road. I apologize, you should have me on this. The schedule was made in order to minimize matches taking place during the World Cup this summer. The Seattle versus Portland doubleheader will take place on June 3rd at Lumen Field. Both the 2023 regular season and 2023 Challenge Cup will appear across CBS Sports platforms, including the CBS Television Network, CBS Sports Network, and Paramount Plus. So if you want to watch the Reign, and you're not going out to every single game, you're not a season ticket holder, or you want to watch them on the road, Paramount Plus is what you want to have. That's what helps us out a lot of away games, but thankfully we have Rough and Tumble Pub for that. So if you want to watch the away games, or you're unable to make it down to Lumen Field and you're closer to Ballard, or you just like to experience Rough and Tumble Pub, make sure you head to Rough and Tumble Pub in Ballard to watch those away matches. That's where we'll be for those as well. So let's get into the meat of the schedule. It starts on Sunday, March 26th against the Washington Spirit in Washington at 1 p.m. Then Saturday, April 1st, a 4:30 p.m. start at New York, New Jersey, Gotham. The Reign will play their first home match of the season on Saturday, April 15th versus the San Diego Wave, which is a 7 o'clock start. Then they head over to the first Challenge Cup matchup of the year on Wednesday, April 19th at Angel City FC with a 7 o'clock kick. The return home Saturday, April 22nd versus the Chicago Red Stars for a 12:30 start. Saturday, April 29th on the road at Racing Louisville with a 4:30 start. Another Challenge Cup matchup at home, May 3rd, 7 o'clock start versus Angel City. Another home game just 3 days later on Saturday, May 6th versus the Houston Dash at 7 o'clock. Sunday, May 14th, a noon start at the Carolina Courage. That's noon Pacific time. A 2-game stretch here. Sunday, May 21st at home versus New York, New Jersey, Gotham at 3 o'clock start. Saturday, May 27th, 12:30 start versus Angel City FC. Another Challenge Cup matchup on the road here, May 31st. May 31st at San Diego Wave. That's a 7 o'clock start. Saturday, June 3rd. That's the Portland versus Seattle doubleheader. The Reign get the afternoon window, a 5 o'clock start versus the Portland Thorns in that doubleheader. A few days later, on Saturday, June 10th, they will play at home versus the Kansas City Current. That's a 7 o'clock start. On my birthday, Saturday, June 17th, I apologize, a 5 o'clock start on the road in Houston against the Dash. Saturday, June 24th, 7 o'clock start at the San Diego Wave. Another Challenge Cup matchup Wednesday, June 28th, at 7:30 start at Portland. Saturday, July 1st at home versus Racing Louisville at 12:30. Friday, July 7th at 4 o'clock at the Orlando Pride. 2 back-to-back Challenge Cup games, and they wrap up the Reign's Challenge Cup schedule before the tournament, that is. Friday, July 28th at 7 o'clock versus the San Diego Wave. And then Sunday, August 6th versus Portland at 3 o'clock. So that wraps up the Challenge Cup there. Portland. And then Friday, August 18th, continuing out the regular season, 5 o'clock at the Kansas City Current. Sunday, August 27th, 5 o'clock at Angel City. Reign return home Sunday, September 3rd, a 3 o'clock start versus the Orlando Pride. They head back on the road Saturday, September 16th, a 7:30 start at Portland. 2 away home games, the last 2 home games of the regular season. Sunday, October 1st versus the North Carolina Courage at 5 o'clock. And then Friday, October 6th, 7 o'clock versus the Washington Spirit. They will close out the regular season on Sunday, October 15th at 2 o'clock at the Chicago Red Stars. So we'll cycle again here through the regular season. If you need to look at that, you can feel free to pause on that. And then here is the Challenge Cup matches for the Reign in the 2023 season, which takes place now during the course of the regular season as opposed to being a sort of preseason tournament in years past. So it's very exciting to be able to have the schedule out finally. It makes our planning much easier for things like that, especially with overlap in certain games. But just to get back to it, we were at training on the 10th last Friday to see the team out there. Unfortunately, not having those 7 players with their respective national teams for the She Believes Cup. But I do talk about something related to that. But good to see someone that really stuck out to me was Elise Bennett. Seeing Elise Bennett out there, she looked great, whether it was physically or just throughout the different things that the Reign did throughout training. Really excited to see Elise Bennett on this club in 2023. Now, I've mentioned the She Believes Cup. We hit league news here. What's happening with Team Canada? If you follow some of our Reign players, or basically any of our Reign players on social media, many of them shared posts relating to what happened to Team Canada, as teammates Quinn and Jordan Heitzman has shared. Despite winning gold at the Tokyo Olympics, Players on Canada women's national team are still seeking equitable and sustainable conditions. Ahead of the She Believes Cup, the players took strike against Canada Soccer, taking collective action over pay inequity and funding cuts that significantly affect their ability to prepare for the World Cup in July. After just one day of that strike, it was called off as a joint statement from the players detailed that Canada Soccer considered steps that could result in those individual players at the camp paying millions of dollars in damages. That's troubling because, well, in addition, despite players playing in 17 matches over the course of 2022, they have not received any compensation at all from Canada Soccer for their work last year and have earned significantly less than their male counterparts in previous cycles. So basically, think about this. You're going to work. For the course of the year, you do not get paid for your work, and you've already been earning less than your counterparts in previous pay periods. I mean, it's really messed up what's going on with Canada Soccer. I know several of the players, obviously Jordan Huitema and Quinn, other players around like Christine Sinclair have mentioned that they're basically being forced to play these matches. So it'll be really interesting to see how this develops for the strike itself. You obviously want to see much better, that doesn't need to be said, from Team Canada in this situation, but it's pretty stunning to see that this is even taking place. So again, we'll keep you updated with this as it continues to develop and continues to go on in our League Notes segments going forward. Thankfully, on the bright side, we do have a match to look forward to. February 25th versus Club America. We finally have a friendly match to look over for our Reign before they begin their regular season. And we know when the regular season starts. So that's great to finally know that and finally prepare for that.